1 week. 1 week is all the time that was allowed to us. To get some rest, to clean out the boat and prepare it for a new voyage, and to leave the harbor again. The men are not particularly happy. They were looking forward to days of celebration. Instead of that, they received only 1 evening and then had to be back on base to perform back-breaking work cleaning out the boat, doing some repairs and preparing it for a new voyage. After we arrived back at port, Dönitz debriefed me and congratulated me on our victories. And then he told me in no uncertain terms that right now every single boat is needed out at sea. We need to make every day count, that the British are in chaos because of our attacks and because of the beginning of the war. I understand these motivations, but it is not easy on the man, and also not easy on the boat. I fear that something might break down at sea, because we can't take the time to service everything properly. To top it all off, boatsman Kunkler was transferred out to another boat. Oberfähnrich Kerger is now the only seasoned watchman that we have on board. Oh well, it is what it is. There were some other developments while we were at port. On the day that we returned to port, U-29 sank the aircraft carrier Courageous. That was great cause for celebration. If our Graf Zeppelin is ever finished, and if we keep sinking their aircraft carriers, then one day we will have more aircraft carriers than the British. The war against Poland is going much better than expected, especially now that the Soviet Union has attacked the country from the other direction. I have to say it feels really weird to be on the same side as the Bolsheviks, but I guess it can't be helped. For this patrol, our boat has been armed with 5 electric T2 torpedoes, but this time they are all armed with impact fuses instead of the magnetic fuses that we had previously. Multiple boats reported that torpedoes armed with magnetic fuses detonated prematurely or not at all, and we did have such an incident too. I hope that our torpedoes that are armed with impact fuses will work much better. But it is hard to think positive thoughts when we are sailing out into a gathering storm. And what a storm it was. The waves were throwing the boat around until everybody was green in the face. The Type 2 does not handle waves very well. We had to proceed like this all the way to our patrol area, the Skagerrak, between Denmark and Sweden. The only good thing about that storm was that right from the beginning of the journey we knew perfectly what wasn't safely secured on board, because it began flying through the crew quarters. A few crewmen had a very uncomfortable talk with the boatsman. He made sure that they learned their lesson by assigning them extra chores on board. It couldn't be helped. If I didn't want everybody to get sick, and for the boat to be completely shaken apart, I had no other choice but to dive the boat and to wait out the storm beneath the waves.
Derzeitige Tiefe 1-0.
The crew breathed a collective sigh of relief as the boat slipped beneath the waves. At 20 meters depth, the waves wouldn't be able to affect us as much, and everybody could recuperate a bit and get some rest. A sound contact in the middle of the night. There's a ship out there. We will have to surface and investigate. The watch crew looks utterly miserable as they have to climb the ladder to the conning tower. They know that they will be out there for the next few hours, soaked with water from head to toe, exposed to the cold winds, clutching their binoculars, trying to see something out there in the dark. Their task is one of the most difficult ones that can be found on a submarine, but also one of the greatest importance. They are literally our eyes. Only they can alert us to anything approaching out of the dark. I go out myself to get a feel for the conditions out top, and what I find there shocks me to the core. The weather has even worsened. The air is full of water, the rain is flying almost horizontally. Huge waves are battering the boat.
Jawohl, Herr Kaloin.
It
Volle
feels as
Fahrt
if the wind
voraus.
is literally trying to steal your breath. Huge waves come out of the darkness, looming above the conning tower, and then crashing down onto it. Everybody needs to be secured with a line to not be washed away. We will sail through this for half an hour. Then I will dive the boat again, and we will try to find the sound contact once more. We dive. We regain the sound contact. We turn the boat on an intercept course and surface again, speeding through the storm. But we are not getting closer. In these waves our boat can barely make 6 knots. It is not enough to close with the target. It seems to be faster than that. All that we have achieved is to tire our crew and to run our engines at maximum capacity for a few hours. The chief engineer has already given me concerned looks. We have no other choice but to abort the senseless chase. I ordered the boat to return on our previous course and to dive. As the new day dawns, I order the boat up to periscope depth and I take a look outside through the periscope. The worst seems to be over, but the weather is still terrible. I decide that we will remain below the surface for now. The crew is still very tired from last night's hunt through the storm. I will let them rest. The terrible storm has finally passed, and we have come across a ship, a Belgian one. We need to inspect it to make sure that it doesn't carry any contraband. They pretend not to understand our signals. So, we express ourselves in the universal language of gunfire. Funny that, how one salvo from our flak gun suddenly makes them understand our signals perfectly. Our orders are clear on this. Even though the ship is neutral, we need to board it and inspect it. We need to make sure that they are not carrying war supplies to Britain or to France. If they are carrying war supplies, then the crew will be put into lifeboats. We are not butchers after all.
Jawohl, Herr Kaloin.
And the
Neuer
ship will be
Kurs
sunk by a
27.
torpedo, or preferably by explosive charges that we will place on board. It would be a shame, because it is a pretty ship. But that is just part of the war now. After our communication offensive, they slow down and allow our boarding party to come on board. Our boarding party has found nothing that is out of order, or that justifies sinking that neutral ship. They are simply carrying machine parts from Oslo to Antwerp. The captain is a Walloon, a French-speaking Belgian. That explains why he pretended not to understand our signals. I would never say this out loud for the crew, or somebody else to hear. But I respect the captain's resolve. And in my heart I am glad that we didn't have to sink this pretty ship. I much prefer floating ships to sinking ones. What a strange thing for a U-boat captain to say. But the sight of beautiful ships and the freedom at sea they represent is what brought me into the Navy. The weather has worsened again. Another storm seems to be coming. But our watch crew has spotted a few ships coming out of the fog. We move in to investigate. Once we close the distance, we realize that all 3 ships are Danish. Neutral ships. Still, just as with the Belgian freighter, we need to stop them, inspect them, and make sure they are not carrying any war supplies to Britain or to France. The ships immediately acknowledge our signals and come to a full stop, so that we can search them. We find no war materials, so after this brief encounter, they are free to continue their journey. The weather has indeed worsened, but we are not the only ones who have to endure it. We come across a German minesweeper and a supporting ship. They are outbound through the Skagerrak, transitioning from the Baltic Sea to the North Sea. We communicate briefly with light signals. Their task is to sail to Helgoland and on the way to make sure that there are no British ships or mines in the Skagerrak. We bid each other farewell and continue our respective journeys. It's good to know that we are not alone out here. It is all over the news. Warsaw has fallen. If the Poles surrender, maybe the English will agree to a peace. Hello there, and welcome to a new episode of our Silent Hunter 3 campaign. We have just spotted the ship behind us at sunrise, and I don't know yet what it is or who it belongs to, but we will intercept it and then act accordingly. Stop it, inspect it, board it, sink it if necessary, but yeah, we'll see. So I think first of all I want to get in front of this ship so that I can determine its course. I believe it is sailing from right to left behind me. So let me turn that way.
Jawohl, Herr Kaloin. Neuer Kurs 354. Jawohl,
Let's
Herr Kaloin.
increase our speed.
Große Fahrt voraus.
Yes. What are you thinking? Well, sometimes the crew is giving me funny looks. Maybe they are still not used to the new commandant. The weather is... well, it is not super terrible, but it's also not super great. We'll see what we can do with this. We are in a good position insofar as we are on the dark side, so the sun is rising over there in the east, and the target ship is silhouetted nicely against the bright sky, while from their perspective we are silhouetted against the dark sky over here, and we basically have the same color. So we are very, very hard to spot here. Let's bring up the instruments. It is early in the morning. The sun is rising, so it will get brighter. And yeah, the weather pretty terrible. But here's the plan. I want to cross the target's course. When I do that, the masts of the target will align, and then I will know that I have a 0-degree angle of bow. This will help me to determine the course of the target. And then we only need their speed, and if necessary we can fire a torpedo at them and sink them. But all in due time. For now, let's just cross their course first. And that will already help us a lot. Oh, high waves splashing over the conning tower. Yeah, it's fine. I'll cut the video here and I'll resume once we are crossing the target's bow. See you soon. Welcome back. I think I am now just in front of them, although it is very hard to tell with our boat bobbing up and down because of the waves. So I think what I will do is I will dive to periscope depth.
Jawohl, Herr Kaloin.
We'll use the periscope.
Tiefe gehen.
Let's dive. Yeah, these waves, they are helping if you want to dive, as you can see. We are being pushed below the surface very fast. Come on, engage the electric engines and bring us under. There we go. Yeah, well, the current that the waves produce, it's not letting us go so easily, but there we go, we are below now.
Jawohl, Herr
Slow down
Kaloin.
the
Ein
boat.
Drittel Fahrt voraus.
And let's go to the attack periscope and take a look here. So the target was somewhere at bearing 36. Raise periscope. Okay. I think we might have already crossed in front of the target, but it's alright. Target is at bearing 39, so AOB 0 was maybe at bearing 37. That's plausible. We can... let's see, which side is more beneficial to be on. Nah, this is the side that we want to be on. We'll assume that 37 was the 0 AOB bearing. That works. Let's prepare the boat for submerged attack. Torpedo officer, you gonna go there, you are gonna go there. Everybody at their stations. Alright. Back to the periscope. Okay. So if we assume that he was on a bearing of... ah, come on. Why? There you go. If we assume that he was on a bearing of... that's a bit fiddly. Of 37, that would mean he's on a course of 264 degrees. Does that make sense? 264 degrees. Yeah, that makes sense. So that also means that if we want a 90-degree intercept, then we should turn to a course of 173, 74 degrees, something like that. Okay, 90-degree intercept will be 174 degrees. His course 264. I still don't know what it is though. Let's continue this way to close the distance. Let's lower the periscope for now. I don't want to be detected prematurely. Now all we need is his speed, and we will be able to get that. But let me first turn the boat and close the distance a bit. And then we will continue this operation. Okay, we are prepared to take another look at this guy. I have nobody on the sonar, so let's rectify that. Give me a report, where is he? Oh, you didn't scan yet, okay. The report will follow soon. Doesn't matter. Let's take a quick look at where this guy is. There he is. Okay, he's closer than I anticipated he would be at this point, so let's turn about so that we can take a speed reading. Let's turn about fast. Okay, we are turning.
Kontakt, Frachter, kommt näher auf 2,5, mittlere Entfernung.
Didn't look like a big ship, but we'll see better in just a moment.
Jawohl, Herr Kaloin. Kleine Fahrt voraus.
Slow down. Don't want to betray myself with a visible periscope feather. Give me an update on his bearing. 359 directly in front of us. need to turn more.
Jawohl, Herr Kaloin. Neuer Kurs 119.
Turn me a bit more, come on. It looks like a very small ship. I can't tell what flag this is yet. Two colors possibly. It looks like a very small ship, so probably about 100 meters in length. We will see how fast he's going. Let's start the clock. Lower the periscope a bit. Don't want to get spotted here. The periscope just a little bit. Now, there's his stern, and there we go. Speed 8 knots. Let's dial that in. Speed 8 knots here. Distance to target. 800. That's a Polish flag. Oh, that's a Polish flag. Oh, we can sink this guy. I don't think the price rules apply to Polish merchant ships. Let's get us in position. What did I say about the course that I need to go? He is sailing on a course of, what was it, 264, right? Yeah, so I need to turn to 126. 264 is right there, so I need to turn to 174. Course change 17.
Jawohl, Herr Kaloin. Neuer Kurs 174.
We will be shooting with an AOB of 90 degrees starboard. Range doesn't matter, we know his speed. Where's periscope? I hope that my course estimation is correct, otherwise this torpedo is gonna miss, but it's looking good. And yes, this is a Polish ship. Draft of the Polish ship. Uncertain. No, I don't need that right now. I didn't know the wind speed. I think we can get away with setting the torpedo to 4.5 meters. Because of the problems with the magnetic detonators, we basically have only impact detonators on board. Complete our turn. Let's increase speed. Close the distance to make sure that we get him. Yes, definitely a Polish ship. Doesn't matter if he's armed or not, this guy's going down. Hydrophone operator. Give me updates on this guy. Oh, you're telling me you have no sound contact, okay. That's funny. Never mind.
Jawohl, Herr Kaloin. Große
Increase
Fahrt
speed.
voraus.
So, which tube am I gonna shoot at this guy? I think tube 2. Do I shoot one torpedo or do I shoot multiple torpedoes? I think I'll shoot one torpedo. I'll risk it. I will shoot only one. Yeah. Let's do that. We'll try that. We'll shoot only one torpedo at him, and if we miss, we can surface and go after him. After all, we are here basically in the Skagerrak, so there won't be any English forces nearby. We can take our time with this guy.
Jawohl,
Slow
Herr
down.
Kaloin. Kleine Fahrt voraus.
Let's take another look at him. He's almost in position to be torpedoed. Open tube. Yeah. Very close. Prepare to fire. Let's hope that this pistol works. And that if we hit him, the torpedo actually detonates. This is looking good. We are gonna put it right below the funnel. Fire! There goes the torpedo. There's the ship. Let's raise the periscope. Impact should be right about now. Uh-oh. Torpedo malfunction. Prepare another one. Set it a bit more shallow. Range to target, 500 meters. Open the tube. Fire. Let's observe. If this doesn't work, we will have to surface. Should hit him. Our data is correct. This should hit him. But it doesn't. Well. Both torpedoes missed. Yeah, both torpedoes have missed. They probably went under. Excellent. Really excellent. Never mind then. Lower the periscope. Full speed ahead. I didn't see any weapons on top of that guy, but better to be safe than sorry, so we are gonna build up some speed before we surface. Torpedo reloads. Are they coming? Waiting in queue for loading. Waiting in queue for loading. I think the weather is too rough for us to reload torpedoes. So we will have to hit him with the last one. Let's stop that clock. Okay. Surface the boat.
Vorne um 10, hinten komm auf 5. Erste Seewache sich klar machen.
Let's see. There he is.
Jawohl, Herr
that way.
Kaloin. Neuer Kurs 236.
Prepare for surface attack. Do I need the watchman up here? Not right now. I don't. Damn these waves. Bloop, 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 bloop. Ah, here we are. Okay. Seas stay too harsh, we must dive deeper to reload torpedoes. Yeah, that's what I thought. Actually. Get me somebody on the bridge. I wanna know.
Jawohl, Herr Kaloin.
Wind speed 12 meters per second. That's an interesting case right now. Did the torpedoes pass under him because of his shallow draft? Yeah, I think so. I think that's a very small ship with maybe a draft of 4 meters. But it is definitely Polish and we are gonna sink him. Poland is basically finished at this point. German troops have already entered Warsaw. And this guy must be one of the last Polish ships trying to escape to England. They have spotted me. Took them long enough. Yeah, searchlight won't help you.
Wir wurden entdeckt, Herr Kaloin.
Berechne Lösung für die achteren Rohre.
Doesn't matter. Actually, I might have an idea here. Bring up the user. Give me eyes on that ship. There it is. AOB. Like so. Speed 8 knots, that's fine. Radio operator. Send contact report. If we can't sink this guy, we might draw other German forces to him. But of course we will try to sink him. This river is making it difficult, and his shallow draft in combination with these waves, it's making it almost impossible to get him really. But we'll try. We'll fire another torpedo at him. Spending 3 torpedoes on one ship, that's harsh, but yeah, it is what it is now. Right now I'm trying to get a bit in front of him, in a position where I can shoot a torpedo into his side. Since we are equipped with impact detonators and not magnetic detonators, I cannot shoot a torpedo at him from behind, so that it explodes beneath him. I will have to hit his side, and there is a special restriction for that. If the angle is too shallow like this, if the torpedo was to hit from an angle like this, it would bounce off. There's a high probability that it would simply bounce off the hull instead of detonating. So we have to get pretty much parallel with him. Let's run these engines even harder by not recharging our batteries right now. Increase our speed. And let's hope maybe some other German units will arrive in the area to take this guy out. I'll cut the video here, and I'll get you back in on the action once we are in a firing position or something interesting happens. Okay, we are ready for a new attempt. Turn the boat.
Neuer Kurs 340.
Slow down.
Kleine Fahrt voraus.
That will be a very short range shot. Might be too short range. I think it will just work. let's get on the Uso. We'll reduce the speed to 7.5 knots. We'll set up in a moment. Once we have completed our turn. Range we will reduce to 350. AOB is, yeah, basically 90. Open the tube. And fire.
Alles im Wasser.
Torpedo is in the water. Turn away.
3,5 Grad Steuerbord.
So that torpedo was set to 3.5 meters. No idea if it will hit or not. By the way, before you comment, I know that setting torpedoes too shallow may lead to them malfunctioning. I'm aware of that, and I think it has happened again. But the draft of this guy is so shallow that setting the torpedo beneath, what is it? Beneath 4.8 meters here, it just won't work. And yeah, this guy was once again missed by the torpedo. The torpedo ran deep. So, we have 2 more torpedoes on board. But we could try to get into this guy.
Neuer
But to
Kurs
reload those,
274.
we will have to dive. Yeah. We have to dive the boat, unfortunately. So let's do that right now.
Volle Fahrt voraus.
Full speed ahead. We are not giving up. I have 2 more torpedoes. We will use those to get this guy. Okay, let's dive. And let's maybe steer in that direction over there.
Neuer Kurs 287. Tiefenruder auf Normal tauchen.
Give me depth under keel here.
Tiefe unter Kiel ist 279.
Oh, it's very deep here. Okay, plenty of room. I think if we go down to 20 meters, it should be sufficient. Weapons officer, let's get you to the torpedo room. Let's stuff that as much as we can. Let's also bring you in for increased effectiveness.
1,0.
Neue Tiefe
1,9
Meter.
And pretty soon we should be able to reload the torpedoes. Also, so that we don't lose this guy, I will increase my speed to flank. That will drain our batteries very fast, but it's worth it. I hope. We can recharge those. Okay. Let's take a look at the torpedo situation. Yeah, it is being loaded now. 11 minutes to reload 1 torpedo. That's actually pretty decent. That's a very decent time for reloads. So, I guess I'll see you in 22 minutes then. And here we are. The torpedoes have been reloaded. Let's come up to periscope depth.
Auf Zero-Tiefe gehen.
Let's see where this guy is. And let's slow down the boat.
1/3 Fahrt voraus.
so that we don't create a wave on the surface. Hydrophone operator, give me an update. 266.
Entfernung gleich bleiben auf 266.
There he is. There he is.
Auf 267. Kommt näher.
Could try another submerged attack.
Frachter auf 268. Kommt näher.
Is he still zigzagging? Not quite sure. Let me turn this way.
Auf 269. Entfernung gleichbleibend.
I want to take another speed reading.
Frachter auf 275. Entfernung gleichbleibend.
Keep the boat at 11.5 meters.
1 Meter.
And for the turn, speed up.
Volle Fahrt voraus.
That will help us to turn a bit faster. Okay, we're completing the turn. Slow down.
1/3 Fahrt voraus.
Update on the position of the target.
Frachter
350.
Entfernung gleichbleibend auf 350. Frachter auf 353. Entfernung
Almost in position to
gleichbleibend.
take another speed reading on this guy. I have yet to determine if he's still doing zigzag maneuvers or not.
Frachter auf 355. Entfernung gleichbleibend.
We are past
Frachter
ALB 90
auf
already.
358. Entfernung gleichbleibend.
I will have to surface.
Frachter auf 0. Entfernung gleichbleibend. Frachter auf 3. Entfernt sich.
I think this guy has slowed down. Or he's still zigzagging. Let's observe.
Frachter auf 5. Entfernt sich.
But his speed seems to be now closer to 7 and not 8 knots.
Frachter auf 8. Entfernt sich.
Once again, this guy has a shallow draft. I'm not sure if I will be able to sink him
0. Entfernt sich.
in this weather. If my torpedoes keep acting up like this. There you can see how much he's rising out of the
Frachter
water.
auf 1, 2. Entfernt sich.
And he has a shallow draft anyway. There's not much of the ship below the water. Just a few meters.
Frachter auf 1, 4. Entfernt sich.
Okay, he stopped zigzagging, but he will of course start again once we surface.
Neuer Kurs 258.
Frachter auf 1, 6. Entfernt
Full
sich.
speed ahead.
Meine Maschine AK voraus.
Frachter auf 1, 1. Entfernt sich.
We'll try another surfaced attack. Okay, I will set the torpedo to 4 meters.
Frachter auf 3, 5, 0. Entfernt sich.
Maybe 4.5. Maybe it will work, maybe it won't.
Frachter
to say.
auf 3, 3, 3. Entfernt sich.
Impact, of course.
Frachter auf 3, 1, 6. Entfernt sich.
Surface.
Auftauchen.
Frachter
C,
auf
hinten,
3, 1, 3. Entfernt sich. Frachter auf 3, 1, 4. Entfernt sich.
Hydrophone. Yeah, stop reporting.
Erste Seewache sich klar machen.
Switching to diesels. And please do not recharge the batteries.
Normaler Antrieb.
There he is, just next to us. Once again. There we go. Terrible waves. Turn us a bit right.
Neuer Kurs 270.
Want to make sure that we are not too close to him when we fire. We are not recharging batteries, that's good. And now we just need to get in position again. You are terribly tired, I should exchange you. Peter officer will take your place, and you can rest. Yeah, that's how it's gonna work right now. We try to get ahead of him again. I think he started to zigzag. That would be quite a disaster if none of my torpedoes works. Need to increase the range to
Neuer
target
Kurs
here too close.
291.
I can't even use my my AA gun down here in these waves, because the deck is constantly underwater. Quite the situation that we find ourselves in. Quite a shitty situation. Okay, let's mount the user on the
Jawohl,
bridge.
Herr Kaloin.
Whoa, waves again. Let's set everything up for the shot. We will be shooting at 90-degree AOB, more or less. I'll try to shoot at about 500 meters distance. The speed will set to 7 knots. Torpedo depth has been set. Impact pistols only, yeah. Everything's ready. Now we just need to get ahead of him. And that is not as easy as it looks. Okay, we are now ahead of the target. Turn in.
Neuer Kurs 181.
Turn
Neuer
that way, in
Kurs
fact.
177.
And decrease our
Kleine
speed.
Fahrt voraus.
Damn these waves. Open the torpedo tube. Turning the boats. So far so good.
Neuer Kurs 179. Neuer Kurs 183.
And there he is. Right in front of us. I have the feeling he has slowed down. Do I take another speed measurement before? Do I have time to take another speed measurement before I have to fire? Stop the engines.
Stoppen. Backward, stop.
It's a bit late here. No, we shoot. We shoot right now. Torpedo away.
Kleine Fahrt voraus.
Increase our speed. Set up a new attack.
Neuer
This
Kurs
torpedo doesn't work.
251.
Beide Maschinen AK voraus.
Come on. Come on, go get him. There we go. That's a hit. Hit him in the bow. He was turning away when I hit him. But that was a hit. And that is all that it should take. Slow down the boat.
Große Fahrt voraus.
Let's not strain our diesels too much. But he should be going down after this. Yeah, oh my god, there's a big hole right in his bow. We almost missed him. Huge hole. I think a few things came together here. When I hit him, his bow was deep in the water because of the waves. So the torpedo was actually able to impact, but you can see that if that hadn't been the case, if his bow was pitched up, the torpedo would have ran straight beneath it. And I think that is what happened with the previous torpedoes. Okay, get in your lifeboats. This cruise is over for you. Your ship is not surviving that impact. It will take some time maybe for them to sink, but they will sink. One torpedo should be sufficient. We'll just stay nearby and we'll observe the situation. I'll resume the video once we see obvious results of him sinking. Well, well, well. I failed to record this, but he's blowing up. And the reason is that Stuka that came in and bombed him. I think he's going down. I think it's fairly safe to say that he's going down. That Stuka really did an unbomb in. One attack, dropped its bombs straight onto him, and I think he's gone. Now, do I get the credit for that guy? That's the question. Do I get credit for this guy? I don't think so. I think I don't get the credit for him. Oh, Stuka, what have you done? That was mine. Is he going down? Or is he still afloat? Let's watch. I'm not sure. We should get at least half credit for this. But yeah, I believe he is gone, and I believe that the Stuka is getting all the credit. So no victory for us. Very unfortunate. The Stuka, by the way, came in because of our contact report that we sent Took its sweet time to do so, but in the end it arrived and it bombed this guy. I'm sorry that I missed that attack. I didn't hit record on time, but I can tell you it looked quite amazing. I'll make sure to record it next time, I promise. Yeah, I think he is going down. Oh yeah, that definitely looks like he's slipping beneath the waves. Absolutely. And... oh, wrong one. And yeah, we are not getting any credit for that. Damn it! Ah, Stuka. So, at this point we have one remaining torpedo on board. Oh, and he's gone. That was fast. One more torpedo on board. We'll have to do with that one and hopefully find another target before we end the patrol. But at least we are not far away from home, so the return journey won't take much time. I think I will end this episode here. That has been quite amusing, I have to say. And I hope you enjoyed this attack, although most of our torpedoes missed their target due to the bad weather and the target's shallow draft. But I'm certain that we will have more success next time. Until then, have some great days and goodbye.